Olga, your Oreo cookies cheesecake. I've got my fan on because it's terribly hot everywhere, of course. So whenever I'm not on camera, I'll be turning my little fan on, but it makes a noise. So, you know, it's, well, nice, but it makes a noise. So the first thing that I'm going to do is make the the Oreo cookie crust. And that is the part that I take off of the Oreo cheesecake recipe. That's a bake recipe. And this is the no bake one that I'm combining. So I take some ground up Oreo cookies. I put these in the food processor, chop them up into little crumbles, and then just pour some, because this is a rather large pan. As you can see, I'm just taking a good amount. There's probably three of these sleeves there, and it's all going to go into this pan. So then I have some melted butter, and I took 113 grams of butter and melted it. And now I will do this. Just take the butter a bit at a time and stir it in to make, you want it almost muddy, you know, a bit, but not too moist, because you want it to stick together. But I think that will all do. I can always add more cookie crumbs. But you just mix it together until it reaches a consistency where you can tell that it will keep its shape, because you're going to want to put the bottom of the pan. Now what I usually do is I usually bring it up the side of the pan, but I might this time just not do that, because I'm going to have a lot of the cheesecake mix itself. Okay. Because you know the last cheesecake you had, it had the crust all the way up the side. But I'm going to do it this time without the cheesecake all the way up the side. And you can just tell me which one you prefer. I mean, that would be a great thing for you to do, because some people don't prefer a crust up the side. I think it was Feather who was telling me that they don't really care. Somebody said they don't really care for a crust up the side on a cheesecake. But I'm just flattening it out on the bottom. And what I'm finding is that that is the right consistency. But for this big pan, I need a lot more of the cookie crumbs. So I'm going to turn this off, turn this on, and do a few more sleeves of cookie crumbs, and then be right back. So I've got all of the Oreos I had left. Have gone through the food processor to make the crumbs. Here's 113 more grams of butter. Put these in the washing up bowl, and and stir. I saw that you reacted to my message, so I'll get to it in a little bit. But there's the pie. I made a nice big pie, but as usual, it seems to be quite the habit lately. I forgot the leeks, but that said, nobody ever seems to miss them. So I pop them in the freezer, and maybe I'll remember to use them another time. Doesn't really matter. But I decided I'd better freeze them because it's so hot. The man who delivered my new shower head said that in his little spot he got a little bit of rain last night, and I told him, well, all we got was just a moist cloud kind of thing, but still wasn't enough to really cool things. But I guess you'll get used to this climate over time. Just give it a year or so. I don't know what it was like there, but here the weather's actually quite stable, never changes really. It's it just is what it is. And that's the way it is with climate change and all that. I don't know if you'll find it hot. I certainly do. We're just not used to temperatures up this high. Last summer we had it was in the low 30s, and I think we're kind of expecting that again. There's already water rationing, there's already fears of more wildfires, more droughts, because it's just, we can't get any relief because of the way the weather systems hang over our little island. Nothing ever changes really. So when it's hot, it's hot. But, oh, I forgot to turn off my fan. I just realised that. So, that's probably going to be interesting in the video. Never mind. Never mind. One of these things will be handy though if you decide to get one. I got it specifically for the kitchen because there's no air coming through the window, and even in my bedroom off the balcony I have to have fans on. And last year in August, when it got really hot, I had 2 fans going. So this year with this one I'll have 3, but it's what it is. As we say here, it is what it is, and that's what it is. Okay, so as best as I can tell, it's even. It's not very thick, but it's a crust just along the bottom of the pan. So now I'll go put this in the fridge and we'll start with the cheesecake filling. Okay, whilst I was up, I felt the pie and it felt good enough to put in the fridge. So I put some aluminium foil over the top so that you can reheat it in the oven, and I put it in the fridge. So that's going well now. So here comes this part, and this is the no-bake cheesecake with a few tweaks. recipes aren't much fun if you don't tweak them, are they? Okay. There's 2 little beaters in here. I'm glad I didn't throw this away when I bought the standing mixer, because sometimes this one works just fine. Now, need to measure out, I think it's 900 grams of, 2 pounds, which is 900 grams, yep. So, forgot to get a container to measure it in. Okay, so I need 900 grams of cream cheese. And I don't know about you, but I discovered that if I put the container on the scale before I turn the scale on, the container doesn't weigh. So I get the accurate amount. I get the accurate amount of what we have here. Trying to figure out the word I wanted. It's not the accurate, it's the accurate. But anyway, brain cells don't always work in the heat. I think it is going to be much, much hotter this summer than it was last summer, and we were actually hotter than Greece last summer. It was bizarre. It really was. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. The cream cheese has to be very, very room temperature. So I've had it out all morning. Basically, as soon as I knew you would come tomorrow, I've had it out. And a little bit of a 4th container. So I've got 4 family pack boxes of cheese. That will do closely enough. Now, we take this side. Okay, we mix the cream cheese in the stand mixer. So I'm going to turn this off and mix the cream cheese until it's creamy. I'll be right back. Okay, now the reason I turn the video off when I'm mixing is because it's such a loud noise and you wouldn't be able to hear anything I was saying anyway. And since we do want to keep the video a bit shorter, cutting out those long bits made sense. Now I want a quarter cup of sweetened condensed milk. I had this left over from the last one I made. It's very sticky. It's almost like a syrup. I thought, for some reason, I thought that I had put in a tablespoon of lemon juice by mistake, but I didn't. The next thing that we're about to do, in fact, is a tablespoon of fresh lemon juice. I use this. And then I think those two need to be mixed together, don't they? Yeah, those and then the sour cream. So I'm going to mix these together and be back. Okay, that's mixed in. The next step is a 1/3 cup of sour cream. I had one recipe not long ago that called for 1/5 of a tablespoon of something. What's 1/5 of a? I was like, what? I had to look up milliliters. It's just crazy. But anyway, 1/3 of a cup is right there. I don't think I'd ever seen that measurement ever in my life in a recipe. But as I say this, I remember that I was trying to adapt. There's a jollof rice recipe that I'm trying to adapt down to just one, and the measurements come out quite bizarre, as you can imagine, because it's a party dish. They make it for they use 6 cups of rice. That should tell you something. So I don't know. I'll get it sorted eventually. Get that put aside, and then I think we just mix that in a bit. Sour cream, mix well, scrape the bowl down, and then we do the whipped cream. So right, so I'll mix this together and then we'll come back and do the whipped cream. Okay. Now is the whipped cream that we're going to fold into the recipe. So for the whipped cream, we need 1/2 cup of whipping cream cold. So I just measure out 1/2 cup of this. It's very thick. Very thick. 1/2 cup. And there you go. Get all this out of the way. Oh, there they are. And a tablespoon of vanilla. What I use is powdered vanilla extract because it doesn't have all the sugar or alcohol. It's just pure vanilla beans ground up into a powder. It's quite nice. So I just use that instead. I mean, I have extract, but once I started using this, it's just so much nicer. I decided to just use this. Okay, so there's that. And then you know what happens next. You know the drill. Turn off the video and run the beater. Okay, now in the written recipe, he leaves this off, and I had it in front of me, so I knew it was coming. He has 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar. That's also supposed to go into this, so I added that as well. And you can see it's very stiff You beat it until it's very stiff peaks. Then put that aside and you clear off your messy hands as best you can, because life is messy when you're cooking. And the powdered vanilla makes it like that. The vanilla beans. Then we take this, and you don't use your beater for this, which is why I took the beaters out. For this, you take the whipped cream. The whipped cream in tins is not the same. The dairy whip, it's not the same. It requires this. So you take that and you get it into the bowl. And you just gently fold it in. And that is what helps it to set. This has to set overnight, so that's why I'm making it today. It has to set overnight, and then it's nice and firm. Just fold it in gently and thoroughly. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put a bit of that. Let's see how much of that it will take, just to make a little bit of extra chocolate in there. Now I need to go get the crust out of the cake, out of the fridge, and we'll put that together. Okay, so I pour this in, and this bowl is rather difficult for me to manage, but for you it should not be a problem. That part always scares me because it hurts my shoulders and my arms aren't very strong, but got there in the end. And then just smooth it out. I used the glass pan last time, which was a bit smaller than this. So the cream cheese layer is not as thick. And you know what I might do is I might actually just double the recipe and put a second layer. Don't see any reason why I can't do that. So you'd have a nice big fat cheesecake, and then I can show you the decoration of that second. Yeah, I think I'll do that because this isn't quite as thick a cheesecake as the other one was. It needs a big pan, but because I was making it for your family, I'm making it a bit larger. So yeah, I will do that. I'll start over with the cheesecake fluff and make a second batch, fill that up, and then come back and decorate it. Now I got the second layer made. So you've now got a good full cheesecake pan, which is nice. So now I'm going to decorate it. I'm going to take double stuffed Oreos, and I hope that they're not broken up too badly. And I like to just put a few of these spaced out around the edges. Probably not perfectly spaced out because I'm not standing over it. You can't really see. Yeah, that doesn't look right. Oh well, never mind. Sometimes I get a bit hung up on the details. Would have liked to put one in the middle, but there aren't enough. I thought I had two. Could have sworn I had two. I must have made another cheesecake without knowing it. Oh well, I'll put this one flat in the middle, like so. And this time I'm going to take a little bit of the cookie crumbs and just kind of do this. Just to make decoration. And there you have it. Very, very simple to make. So I hope that you enjoy it, and I hope that you get to make the recipe and enjoy that as well. See you later.